I gotta go.
Wait. You don't want to see the examples? I have 20 examples right here.
He is a white supremacist.
You could have way more under an actual anti-racist administration.
Really? Because you had less under Barack Obama. Was he racist?
Possibly.
What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. Today we're in Washington, D.C., and we're going to be talking to people about how Donald Trump has never supported white supremacy. Let's go talk to some people. You guys, Trump has never supported white supremacy. Do you agree?
No.
You don't agree, sir? Would you like to talk about it? Oh, sounds about right. Trump has never supported white supremacy.
We know it.
We know it. Would you guys like to have a civil conversation about why you disagree? Okay. Yeah, he's condemned white supremacy over 20 times.
Oh yes, when? Could you tell me when?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to see a video of montage of 20 times that he's done it?
Oh, actually no. I'm more interested in walking up and.
But how are we going to learn if we don't challenge our ideas? I mean, you just made a statement that is actually inaccurate, and I can show you video evidence of why it is. I mean, would you like to see that?
No, thank you.
He refused to condemn white supremacy explicitly during the last debate.
I'm not happy with how he did it necessarily, because he should have been more clear. But he's also denounced white supremacy, KKK, all this stuff 20 times.
If I think he intentionally uses words and uses language that is demeaning of other people groups that are different from him.
Okay.
So while he may not explicitly say
an example of that, if you don't mind,
yeah,
just so we can kind
so
of
the
zero
language.
out.
So yeah, there's the documented evidence over the summer. I can't remember exactly when it was, but him using the word shithole to describe African nations.
Would you want to go vacation in Haiti though?
Maybe, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
you know what Haiti looks like?
I don't, but I mean, I've never been, so I'm not going to make that.
And white supremacy is not exclusive to the KKK. The KKK is just the most extreme form of that. You don't have to be like in a white robe.
I'm telling you multiple things that he denounced.
White supremacist.
I'm told you multiple people, hate groups. He says hate groups. He's very clear about it. He denounces all of them. In fact, his new policy under the Platinum Plan designates the KKK as a terrorist organization. He really does not like hate groups.
Really does not like hate groups? Then why has this been pushed towards him for the last? Why has this been pushed towards him for the last few months? But he only offers to do it once he's elected. It seems like a.
That's completely incorrect. He's been denouncing hate groups since the 2000s on camera at least.
I've seen him put together
You're talking about real estate?
a petition against someone buying a home in his neighborhood because he was a rapper.
Who was the rapper?
I'm not going to give that.
Well, then how can you prove it? You're saying, oh, he said something stupid right there. I agree. Trump does say
Not
stupid
only
stuff.
stupid, it's
but you think it's
intentionally
racist?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
So Joe Biden. Let's talk about Joe Biden for a quick second. Okay. So Joe Biden saying poor kids are just as smart and what do you say? Smart and bright as white people.
Right.
That is. Here's the thing though.
Yeah, said you're not black. He said some really terrible stuff.
Here's the thing though. I'm not silly enough to be like, he said that, he's the biggest racist around. You know, when it comes to talking about denouncing like white supremacy, all this stuff, Trump's. I have a video if you'd like to see it. Him denouncing it 20 times at least. When it comes to how many times he could denounce it, sure, he could denounce it forever. But why don't we start talking about Antifa and maybe violent BLM protests?
I would wish that when just asked a question, he just would have said, you know what, oh, sorry, brother, I did not mean to do that. That he just would have denounced the flat right then and there.
We're talking about the debate, correct?
Yes. In terms of the Proud Boys and stuff like that, I have no idea about that organization. I really have no idea in terms of like the leadership. I was told like the leaders like half black, half.
He's half black, half Cuban. The left talks about white supremacy all day, but who are these riots? Who are the riots the past 4 months? And you know, you seem like a really nice person, but I'm not going to take it easy on you here. White supremacy is not at the top of the list of these riots that are destroying businesses. Over $1 billion in property damages, over 1,000 officers injured, over 20 people that have been killed in protests and riots. And I include protests because of people like maybe Sequoia Turner that was shot in her mom's car, not in a riot, but by protesters.
Okay, so you cited the First Step Act. Great thing and like this guy before me was saying, great thing for all people.
I agree.
Just because it has benefited black Americans or formerly
incarcerated and Native American,
doesn't just negate all the other things he's done. So I think.
What has he done then? So we'll talk about actions. What has he done?
So in addition, I mean, I'm trying to think. You're not agreeing that these things he said are racist. Would you agree?
Did you agree with what I said with Biden? I mean, sometimes people say stupid stuff that may seem racy, but you don't think they're inherently racist. You don't believe that they believe that their race is superior to another. I don't think that Biden's a white supremacist.
Yeah, I think his history of being a part of.
I don't think he has a very clean history either, but I don't think he's a white supremacist. But I think the 1994 crime bill largely damaged black communities. The First Step Act under Donald Trump largely undid a lot of that. The 3 strikes rule, you guys, life in prison for 3 strikes, replacing that with 25-year sentences and judges being able to kind of use caution on what direction they want to go. These are really helpful things.
Have you listened
Prove
to
me
2
wrong.
seconds of anything he says?
Yes, he's condemned white supremacy and the KKK over 20 times.
Over 20 times?
Yeah.
Do you have him right here? Can I listen to it?
Absolutely you can. Let me pull it up for you right now.
All right.
By the way, I'm James. How's your day going, man?
It'd be a lot better if you guys were wearing masks.
We can socially distance.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Wait. You don't want to see the examples? I have 20 examples right here.
He is a white supremacist.
What is your basis for saying that? I have 20 examples right here. Come watch. KKK should be condemned. White supremacy should be condemned. Trump has condemned KKK and white supremacy over 20 times.
Yes.
And actually, he did technically, it was weak as hell, but also denounce KKK and white supremacy the other day. But it was a mess. That thing was a mess.
Like that specific instance right then and there.
I agree.
Because I mean, and hopefully you agree with this. I think that was a layup. That he should have just like fucking slam dunked it.
I think he should have slam dunked it.
Yeah.
I also think it was a stupid question because
question.
Wallace asked him that in 2016. This is a real disaster, and this is what the country has been dealing with. I'm not gonna let white supremacists get away with being hateful. I condemn all hate, but we can't pretend like the last 4 months hasn't overwhelmingly been BLM and Antifa getting out of control.
Well, there was the whole 93% statistic, how 93% of the protests were peaceful.
Yeah, but there's tens of millions of protesters.
Yes. That still includes a large amount of protests that are violent.
Of course.
The thing about that is, I don't support that. I don't believe violence is the answer. I really don't like riots or looting or anything.
I mean, I think that caught him right there.
It caught him. But I don't look at him and say, oh, he's a white supremacist. I say, oh, that debate was a disaster and he screwed up right there.
I mean, I think that Donald Trump is just one of those individuals where there's a lot of nuance when it comes to him. I mean, do I support him? Hell no, but I don't really support Joe Biden either.
Yeah. President Trump, this guy that you think is a racist, maybe a white supremacist, whatever it may be in your definition, is the president that got First Step Act passed.
Do you mind explaining what it is?
Absolutely. It does countless things, okay? So it reduces federal mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug crimes.
Wait, I have heard about
it reduces recidivism.
It would have passed under anyone.
It was literally his administration that pushed it.
Do I think that he's racist? I don't know. I don't know the man. I've never met him before in my life. I've never had a conversation with him.
You a fan of Herschel Walker at all?
I don't even know who that is, dude.
Ma'am, who is Herschel Walker?
He's a football player. He's a retired football player, Heisman Trophy winner.
And he's
a black man.
Yeah, he's very good. The reason why I brought that up, and I'm sorry to cut that off. He doesn't. No. But the reason why I brought that up is just because he's been friends with Donald Trump for the past almost 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he knows him personally. And if we are to look at anything, we look at people that know Donald Trump personally.
Yeah.
That is a black man that they have a very close personal relationship for the past 40 years.
Which is why
I'll listen to what he has to say, you know?
Which is why I said that there's a lot of nuance around that. Just like, I mean, you still have a lot of African Americans that are going to vote for Joe Biden, even though the 94 crime bill.
I don't see why that can be attributed to Trump in any way.
Okay, then how about the White House Opportunity Revitalization Council? Can you take that away from Republicans?
Do you mind explaining what that is?
That's 8,700 plus opportunity zones across the United States, bringing long-term investment into black communities, minority communities that are struggling. Does a racist do that? Is he just the worst racist in the world that he's helping black Americans everywhere? Have you heard about the HBCUs?
Which part?
HBCUs, have you heard about that under Donald Trump?
Oh, is that like an opioid?
No, it sounds like that. It's historically black colleges and universities. The investment into HBCUs, federal funding has increased by 17%.
Speak a lot. You can't keep covering that.
I have a video of him denouncing it 20 times. You guys want to watch the video?
You are saying that any benefit that has been produced under a president means they cannot be racist in any way. correct?
So how many benefits until they're not racist?
How many benefits?
Platinum Plan, White House Opportunity Revitalization Council. We have record low black unemployment, record low youth
You mean
unemployment.
the trends he employed from under Obama?
Obama gave Trump a limping economy. Do you know what
He gave him a limping economy,
what was the
then why is it
GDP?
at the same growth rate?
Is Trump explicitly a white supremacist? No, but I think, again, I think we've like
You're not happy
circled
with this
that.
rhetoric.
Yeah.
What was the GDP growth on Obama's final year?
I don't know.
1.6%. 1.6%. Manufacturing jobs are considered good jobs, right? Growth on that was 1.5%. His last 30 months. Trump's first 30 months was 4%. Every policy that Trump enacted was pro-business, cutting red tape, and ensuring that the economy could thrive.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like I wouldn't say that Donald Trump was a racist. I wouldn't say that Joe Biden is a racist. I don't know.
I don't think that he properly what's the word I'm looking for?
Disavowed.
Disavows and tries to not encourage white supremacists. I think Trump needs to say, I don't support these people. I am not their hero. Stop calling me your hero. Stop waving a MAGA sign if you're going to hate minorities or something like that. I think that'd be super effective when it comes to getting people on the side of Trump.
When it comes down to disavowing white supremacy, KKK, all that stuff, he's disavowed it on camera since 2000 at least 20 times. Would you like to see a video of that, or do you believe me?
Oh, I believe you.
Okay. So the fact that the media has to continue to ask this silly question. Keep in mind, Chris Wallace asked that same stupid question in 2016. He already knows the answer. I don't think anything can convince you that Trump's not a racist with all these fantastic things that he's done for the black community.
Fantastic bipartisan. Cutting business regulations so black people pay less taxes is not like explicitly anti-racist like law planning.
Great. So let's talk about opportunity zones then. Why would a racist want to create long-term growth in the black community? Why would they want to do that?
He wants to get more than 16% of the black vote next time, so he can actually win the popular vote.
Excellent. I'll literally take those benefits for the black community all day.
You could have way more under an actual anti-racist administration.
Really? Because you had less under Barack Obama. Was he racist?
Possibly. In effect, he was.
We can talk about prison reform. We can talk about the Prison Reform and First Step Act. We can talk about his new Platinum Plan. We can talk about opportunity zones, bringing long-term investment into black neighborhoods. That is why you'll see black Trump supporters here, because he has done a lot of fantastic things for the black community.
The fact that you have this poster and the fact that we're even talking about this.
Well, the radical left media wants to push that narrative, so that I'm combating it.
Yeah, and I think like it's not even what he says. It's like I failed to like cite a specific policy before. I think you go back to when he was a landlord, housing developer in New York, and refused tenants of color.
Yeah.
Like,
so
very racist.
So
like,
do you know the details behind that case or no?
I know it went to the court, and they did the mock, having people with applications who were not names that were typically white, and they refused them. So I think, I believe that's the detail. I'm not 100% sure on that.
So here's a little bit of context around that whole case. Okay. So for example, development companies, land development companies, they get swaths of lawsuits. Every single company that you look up, that's a massive land development company, is going to get one of those lawsuits. Here's the other part though. That happened over 45 years ago.
When he was how old was Trump? He was older than me. I don't know how old you are. He might have been older than you.
Do you know how many apartment units they had at that time?
I do not.
Okay. I do not. 14,000. So here you are putting blame on Donald Trump for something that he most likely.
I didn't say he did this. I said it's a part of his his company.
And I don't think that's a pretty thing. That being said, so 14,000. Trump is not the one overlooking that, okay? But at the same time, when it came to the DOJ investigation, there was nothing proved, okay? And they just ended up settling and offered to rent to the people that were rejected for whatever reason.
I feel like the classic example for this poster would be when he said there's good people on both sides.
Yeah. That was a lie, but.
There's a video.
There's a video, but the video is cut short, and they ignore the part where he denounces the white supremacist right after that part.
No, I mean,
what you just repeated is actually a lie because they cut the video short.
Oh no, you watch the whole clip.
I'll show you the whole clip.
Yeah, he said, but did he not say there's good people on both sides?
He said, and I'm not talking about the white supremacist right after that, but you're not saying. Will you change your mind if you see that full clip?
I've seen the full clip. I've watched the full clip. I'm not going to change my mind.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
There's good people on both sides. So he's saying there's two.
Hyper focusing.
There's two sides. I mean, you're reading
because after he said that, he clarified, and you can't just say that without mentioning him clarifying himself. You're taking something out of context. Do you think if we're going to talk about back then, do you think that recent history or something like that, do you think that that's more effective, something that really happened? I mean, we can talk about Joe Biden saying a eulogy at the ex-KKK leaders Robert Byrd's funeral. That's pretty intense. Now, keep in mind.
When did that happen?
2010. So keep in mind.
Okay.
Keep in mind, he was reformed. Okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't a KKK member anymore. Do you think that the media would let Donald Trump get away with that if he was reformed? Do you think they would? I mean, come on, that sounds pretty bad.
And I think like this.
That sounds pretty bad.
The media. I mean, I think they would not let him get away with that today.
You have your opinion, and you're not jumping at my neck because you may disagree with me.
No, like I said, dude, it's America. I thought that's what this country's about. Like, I mean, left or right, at the end of the day, I think that we all want the same things. Do we have different ways of getting there? Yes, but we all want to see this country do better.
I say that all the time.
I mean, we have to have these conversations in a respectful manner. I mean, if not, then what the is the point, dude?
I say that all the time, and I totally agree. We're all Americans, man. We have different ways of going from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
All right. So,
all
awesome.
right, guys.